Hello there. Use of face mask indoors now optional. Health Ministry considering purchasing variant-specific COVID-19 vaccines, and Sarawak poised to be hydrogen producer by 2027. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening, you're with me, Douglas Elliott, and this is Tvs Nightline. We begin with today's top story. Effective Wednesday, the use of face mask indoors is now optional. However, according to Health Minister Kari Jamaluddin, the wearing of face mask is still mandatory in selected scenarios, such as when using public transportation, at health facilities and care centers, or when exhibiting symptoms. Kari said the decision was made based on an assessment of the COVID-19 situation, as well as taking into account the current needs.
Ini tidak bermaksud bahawa ia tidak akan dikuatkuasakan sekiranya status COVID-19 semakin buruk di negara kita. Ya, buat masa ni kita longgarkan, tetapi kita boleh pada bila-bila masa dan waktu kenakan semula protokol ini sekiranya keadaan COVID-19 bertambah buruk di negara kita.
Additionally, premises owners could still determine whether visitors are still required to wear a mask. While now optional, the Ministry of Health also encourages the use of face masks when in crowded places like night markets, places of worship, and stadiums. The mandatory use of face masks in public came into effect on August 1st, 2020. The requirement for face masks in outdoor settings was relaxed beginning May 1st this year. Similarly, the Sarawak Disaster Management Committee SDMC on Wednesday welcomed the decision by the Ministry of Health on the face mask mandate and continues to advocate the use of face masks as it has been proven to reduce the spread of COVID-19 infection. On a related matter, the Ministry of Health is considering purchasing variant-specific COVID-19 vaccines that are capable of fighting the Omicron variant. However, Health Minister Kari Jamaluddin said the ministry has yet to decide on the immunization program that will be implemented if it does offer the vaccine. Last month, Britain approved a variant-specific COVID-19 vaccine produced by Moderna as a booster for adults. Kari also said on August 3rd, the MOH Technical Working Group recommended the administration of a second booster dose of the mRNA vaccine for pregnant or breastfeeding women, in line with the World Health Organization (WHO) recommendation. Kari said the group also recommended giving the first vaccine booster to children aged 5 to under 12, as well as COVID-19 vaccination for children aged between 6 months and 5 years old.
Berdasarkan kepada trend epidemiologi jangkitan yang sedia ada dan juga melihat kepada mereka yang berisiko tinggi. Jadi kita belum lagi buat keputusan sama ada kita akan menawarkan vaksin tersebut untuk semua ataupun hanya untuk mereka yang berisiko tinggi saja. Sekarang ini kita boleh melihat kepada satu program vaksinasi yang lebih bersasar.
Back home, Sarawak is poised to be a commercial hydrogen producer by 2027, thus realizing the vision of turning the state into a hydrogen economy. Now, to achieve this, Premier Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Oping said the state has taken the necessary measures and rolled out various initiatives to develop Sarawak's hydrogen economy based on renewable energy. Abang Johari, who is also Energy and Environmental Sustainability Minister, said Sarawak had already embarked on hydrogen project through two local companies, namely Sarawak Energy and SEDC Energy, a subsidiary of Sarawak Economic Development Corporation SEDC. Earlier today, the Premier met with the Korean Second Vice Minister of Trade, Industry and Energy, Park Il-jun, to witness the signing of the MOU between Sarawak Energy, SEDC, and the Samsung POSCO Lotte Consortium. The MOU aims to study the supply of renewable hydropower for the Hibiscus project to produce green hydrogen and ammonia in Sarawak. In his speech, Abang Johari thanked the Korean government for providing funds for the multi-billion-dollar project. He said the project will not only create economic growth for both countries, but become a flagship project for the whole region. The Mid-Autumn Festival, more commonly known as the Mooncake Festival, is an occasion that signifies unity as Sarawakians of all backgrounds gather to spend time together. Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dato Sri Fatimah Abdullah said Sarawak is an exemplary state when it comes to unity in diversity, which is reflected in the colourful and lively Kuching Intercultural Mooncake Festival 2022, currently held at Carpenter Street until September 10, 2022.
Tidak kurang daripada 40 adalah terdiri daripada ibukan berbangsa Cina yang meraihkan Mooncake Festival. So this is very exemplary. Kalau dulu memang ia hanya kita lihat disambut oleh satu bangsa iaitu kaum Cina. Tetapi bila ianya diadakan berbentuk multicultural, kita mendapati bahawa ia mendapat sambutan daripada kaum-kaum yang lain. And this is very
She was speaking to the press after her walkthrough of the festival, which is in its 19th edition. According to one of the traders, Zyrine Arabi, the festival symbolizes a unified social fabric that exists in Sarawak.
Yes, terutama sekali pada event Mooncake Festival ni terdapat kesatuan pelbagai kaum sekali. Walaupun kita berniaga, sebelah ni kedai Chinese, sebelah ni kedai India, sebelah ni kedai Melayu. So semuanya memang for us is very good move lah.
Meanwhile, Muhammad Ainul, a customer, is of the same opinion.
So dalam Sarawak ni dia banyak kaum jenis. Dia macam ada Bidayu, ada Iban, ada Cina, ada India. Dari food festival ni lah kita boleh meleratkan silaturahim lagi antara satu kaum ke satu kaum. Dia macam tu.
More than 1,000 visitors showed up at the Bukit Ajah Mid-Autumn Festival that was held on Tuesday. According to its assemblyman, Joseph Chen Jin Ek, the annual festival comprises many activities, including quizzes, lucky draws, and much more.
Every year, our SUPP Bukit Ajah branch we organize this very meaningful event, the Mid-Autumn Festival, every year. But due to 2 years with the COVID-19, so we stopped for 2 years. So now with the after the COVID-19, and now basically everything is open, so we decide to organize a big event just beside our Bukit Ajah branch and as well as our A51 Sarawak.
He said the event is not just to celebrate Mooncake Festival, but also to ensure a close relationship between leaders and the people in the area. As such, he took the opportunity to inform the people of Bukit Ajah regarding the current status of development projects, government assistance, and other things.
We not only celebrate our Mooncake Festival together, but also I use this chance. I also report to all the Bukit Ajah voters what I've been done, for these few months, especially after elected as the Wakil Raya for the N51 Bukit Ajah. So I will update to them from time to time on the progress on our Bukit Ajah redevelopment plan and also our RTP project status.
He further stressed that the Gabungan Party Sarawak GPS act in unison with the people and have a common objective so that the coalition can defend Sarawak's rights for the future of its people. For the record, there are 4 seats in the Sibu division, namely Dudong, Palawan, Bukit Ajah and Nangka. The master plan for the redevelopment of Bukit Ajah in Cebu will be ready soon. Bukit Ajah Assemblyman Joseph Cheng said drafting a comprehensive plan needed time, as many factors have to be taken into consideration, especially the voice of its people. After the premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, has announced on the matter last November.
At the moment, because all the people of Cebu, they are really curious. They are really interested in this Bukit Ajah redevelopment plan. So they call me out all the time. When can it start? How is the master plan look like, and so on. So it is very important for us to have the most suitable master plan of our Bukit Ajah redevelopment plan. So I will also suggest to our premier, with this master plan ready later on, we should do an exhibition on this to get every people of Cebu get involved, so they know how's our plan by our GPS government in Cebu.
On updates to the Bukit Ajah redevelopment plan, he said it was still in the planning stage. At the same time, he appealed for the people to be patient, as drawing up an effective plan for an area of considerable size required time.
At the moment, for the Bukit Ajah redevelopment plan, for this plan, we are still on the progress of, we are still in the stages of for the master plan, because it is very important for us to have the best, master plan in order for us to have a success Bukit Ajah redevelopment plan. And we are grateful to have our beloved premier, who is always taking care of our Cebu, and as well as he's so committed to this Bukit Ajah redevelopment. So as announced by our deputy premier earlier, the Sarawak government prepared to invest that our Sarawak government is prepared to invest 1 billion on the first stage of our Bukit Ajah redevelopment plan.
Right, still to come, digitalization levels the playing field for gender equality, plus 7 drowned in flooded South Korean parking lot. Right here on Tvs Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The Sarawak government is determined to expand the export of shrimp in international markets. According to the Minister of Modernization of Agriculture and Regional Development, Dato' Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi, the government is aiming for the value of shrimp exports to reach 100 million ringgit in the near future.
The government has provided quite a sizable land for them to continue in their endeavor to increase the export shrimps and all few countries over the world. And the land is given to them now is 286 hectares of land. And that government on our part, we empowered PPNS to carry the responsibility so that and our endeavor to make sure that we are able to create industry.
Rundi also added that it will be in line with the state government's hope to become a clean food exporter in 2030. He said this when attending the signing ceremony of the Memorandum of Agreement MOA for the shrimp breeding project between the Sarawak State Farmers Organisation PPNS and Seahorse Corporation Sendirian Berhad, which was also attended by the Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Modernization and Regional Development, Dr. Abdul Rahman Ismail, who is also the PPNS chairman. The agreement is an effort by the state government to help the companies involved increase the revenue from shrimp farming.
So we can, on our part, to assist them in terms of infrastructure and so on. And I must say that the government have a role to play here. This one way what we are doing is through PPNS and so on. We hope that this joint venture will move in the right direction and also produce what we be able to produce what we are anticipating.
The Sarawak Modernization of Agriculture and Regional Development Ministry will be rebranded in line with its efforts to increase the income of the P40 farmers. Its Minister, Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, said the name change has been agreed upon by the state government, and Sarawak Premier Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg is expected to announce the new name in the near future.
The function of the ministry still remains the same, but the focus will be commodity. So renaming it means, to me, like modernization is a process. So what we want to do is to make sure that we have that food industry, commodity. Of course, we develop it with the regional development and so on. That is what the ministry is all about. Even if it's called modernization, it's still that function. The function remains the same.
He added that even though the ministry's name will be changed, the focus is still the same. As such, the state government has agreed to the name change, which will have the word commodity added to it, which implies more commercialization.
Digitalization does not distinguish between a man or a woman, as it is dependent on those who have the command of the technology. Deputy State Secretary Datu Subara Putid said that digitalization has become a significant accelerator of gender equality in the workplace. Speaking at the book launch of Rethinking Asia 8, Women's Leadership Retold at Tegas Digital Village on Wednesday, Subara said women of all backgrounds need to be better equipped with knowledge of digitalization and technology. She said the COVID-19 pandemic has taught how women's perspective can be of benefit in policy and decision-making.
And I believe the perspective of this woman to be shared not just among the women, but they are to be shared among men leaders too, because it's important that both men and women understand each other's perspective to ensure a cohesion and synergy of both men and women in this world.
She added that the state government under the leadership of Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg always aspires to see more women's involvement as leaders in Sarawak. Under Sarawak's post-COVID-19 development strategy, Sarawak aims to achieve 30% of women's participation in decision-making roles by 2025. Meanwhile, for founder and president of the Center for Asia Leadership, Samuel Kim, the 8th volume of the Rethinking Asia series serves to inspire women and raise awareness of the challenges faced by women in the workplace.
Especially in Asia, we see women and men at a different starting line. And so it is very important that book, first of all, serves to raise awareness. And I think it's very important that we need to document.
Also present at the book launch was Sunway College coaching director Joseph Lim. Day 3 of the International Conference on Nia National Park for World Heritage Site nomination today guides delegates to the most unique and authentic World Heritage travel experiences in Nia. We have with us our editor Daryl, who is there to give us the details of today's journey in Nia's bid to be accorded the UNESCO World Heritage recognition.
After 2 days of being served with the theory on what NIA has to offer during the International Conference of the NIA National Park UNESCO World Heritage Site nomination, the delegates today were fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to see firsthand on the outstanding universal value that NIA has to offer. Now, the delegates immersed themselves with the performance by the local community, the local Penang community to be exact, where folklore stories was told, and also they could participate in the dance and also games that were played by the community themselves. Further on, we hiked the 3 kilometers from the NIA National Park into the caves. Now, along the way, we met few traders, local traders, were comprised of the Iban community. Now, they expressed their hopes with the recognition of the World Heritage Site. This would bring a positive influx of foreigners, which would contribute to their socio-economic. Now, as we went through, we further our journey into the caves at the east mouth of NIA. We were given the exclusive access today, where the deep skull was found back in 1958 by Tom and also Barbara Harrison. These are the archaeologists who came to NIA in the 1950s and excavated a large area of NIA where the deep skull was found. And as we exit the caves, where I met Dr. Darren Kuro at the site where he excavated back in 2019. Yeah, at the Traders Cave. Now, the artifacts that were found there has been dated 50,000 of years. Now, it's an interesting thing whereby you could see two Homo erectus and also Homo sapien. The two areas has 2 different data gap age of the artifacts that we could be found there. It is indeed an interesting journey that we made today, and we hope that with all the information gathered, this will indeed aid to the outstanding universal value to NIA in its Toddler proposal to be submitted in February next year to the UNESCO. That's all for me. I'm Daryl Miri, TVS.
You're watching TVS Nightline. Now, 2 South Koreans were rescued in a dramatic operation after being trapped in a submerged underground parking garage for more than 12 hours in a city battered by a powerful typhoon. However, 7 deaths were reported after they became trapped by rising waters while attempting to move their vehicles. Authorities said Typhoon Hinamnor ripped through South Korea's southern industrial hubs this week, leaving at least 10 people dead, 2 missing and thousands of people displaced.
In the southern city of Pohang, the 2 victims were rescued late on Tuesday, September 6, from the underground parking lot inside an apartment complex where 8 people went missing while trying to save their cars. A fire official said both were found alive near the car park's entrances, with a man in his 30s clinging to pipes, while a woman in her 50s was sitting on large panels used as construction materials. More than 170 members of local fire stations, the military and the Coast Guard joined forces in the rescue efforts, wading through meters of muddy waters to find survivors.
A toddler in the United States accidentally shot a 5-month-old infant inside a home in the state of Florida. According to the police, the incident led to the woman who was caring for the 3-year-old and the infant to be charged with neglect.
Law enforcement responded to the home in the city of Tampa around 1 p.m. Saturday after a call that the infant has been shot. The Tampa Police Department said in a statement. Paula Concepcion Santos, 25, was taken into custody by police and charged with child neglect, and the infant was taken to the Tampa General Hospital. Luckily, the infant had non-life-threatening injuries and was treated accordingly. Santos allegedly told the police that the 3-year-old got hold of a firearm and discharged it by accident. Officers continue to try to piece together how the shooting happened and have not disclosed the relationship between Santos and the 2 children. As of today, Santos was in jail, held on a US $15,000 bond.
Why gold instead of cash? Now, the main challenge you face when trying to save money is that inflation exists. And while inflation is an important factor for economic growth, too much of it can cause the prices of household goods to skyrocket. Now, gold is seen as a good alternative to savings during economic uncertainties. However, how much do we actually know? On Sejahtera Asia tomorrow, host Sharon Kezia and Alexon will be speaking to Chief Executive Officer of Deed Holdings Berhad, Dato' Azir Abu Sama. 7:45 a.m. only on TVS Astro Channel 122 and My Free View. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news update, both locally and internationally, just a click away by heading onto our website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. My name is Douglas Elliott. Thank you and good night.